Okay, so we're going to talk about completing the square to solve equations. And I picked a really simple one. This was actually number 3 from your homework on the worksheet. And we're just going to talk about how we would solve it initially by factoring so that we can check our work. And if we brought all of our numbers and our constants and our variables, the whole thing to the left-hand side, it would end up like this. And it factors really nicely into x plus 3 times x plus 3 to equal 0, right? And our answer would be x equals negative 3. And what that really means is that it would be a parabola that only crosses the x-axis at negative 3, just at that one point. That's really what the graph would look like. That's what it means when you have two of the same number. But I picked you an easy one here because we're going to kind of talk about visually what it means to complete a square. So I'm going to represent x squared by an actual physical square, and it has dimensions x by x. And each of these 6 x's I'm going to represent by like these little tall shapes that are exactly the same height. They're x high, but they're by 1. So I have 6 of those. And I'm not going to worry about the negative 9 just yet. What I plan to do is I'm going to actually build a square, and we're going to talk about how many we need to build it. So this x squared goes right here in the corner. It's x by x, and I'm going to take these 6 and I'm going to put them halfway here, and I'm going to put the other half right here. And what you can see is that if I were to complete the square, I'm going to use a little other color here, how many ones would it take to fill those in? And I'm going to represent ones like this. And we're only going to be adding positive ones. So if you can see, it's going to take 9. Which, if I move this negative 9 to the other side, it would end up as positive 9, just like we did over on the right here. But this ends up being a perfect square, and when I factor it, you can see that this side is x plus 3, and so is this side, x plus 3. When it comes down to it, though, we're not going to draw a picture for every one of these, especially as the semester progresses. We're not going to be able to draw some of them. Some of them will be decimals, some of them will be different than this. But I wanted you to kind of understand how this works, because if I've got a x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This b was 6 in this case, and we end up having exactly half of that when we break it down.